So Phillip Schofield has spoken out in groundbreaking interviews, and he's spoken about a lot. I'm going to get into it within 5 minutes and let you guys know what is going on. Hey guys, it's Marabbarati. Hope you guys are doing well today. Back at again for another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button for daily and consistent content. Inject it, subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. So he's done an interview with The Sun and with the BBC, and they describe him to be somebody who is struggling. He's got blisters all over his hands. He is vaping continuously. He's absolutely stressed out and he can't leave his home. He defiantly states that he is not a groomer and that did not take place, and that they were just unwise situations with back and forth chats that took place. He describes that the distance between him and Holly was not because of Qgate, was because of the fact that his brother was convicted of heinous crimes with minors, and that is basically what had happened. He actually texted Holly to say sorry. She didn't even respond to him, which clearly shows that she's very much distancing herself from him, and that, you know, he's lost a lot of money. His ITV salary is gone. The 5-6 brand deals of him are gone, but I'm sure he'll be fine because he's got a lot of coin anyways. He goes on to say that, you know, it was a huge regret on his behalf. I'm going to read some quotes from the interview. He says, I'm not a groomer. The affair began. He worked on the show for a bit and we became mates. And then one day something happened that just changed it. And that is the moment I look back on and regret so deeply. It was a consensual moment. It was mutual. It was not a love affair. It was not a relationship. We were not boyfriends. We were mates. Over a period of time, it happened maybe 5 or 6 times. You look at yourself, and I absolutely know there's no question I did a bad thing, and there was no excuse. I don't have an excuse. I won't put forward an excuse. No one did anything wrong apart from me. It has brought the great misery into his totally innocent life and his family as well. He also goes on to say there's hypocrisy and homophobia in the critique that he's received because, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio out here dates young girls. The only difference is that he, although I don't agree with what Leonardo's doing, and I find it very weird, dates these girls when they're in their mid-20s, and he himself is in his 40s or 50s, however old he is. He's not in contact with girls when they are very much minors. And that's exactly what Phillip was doing, whether it was in the school that they were in a picture together. You're then having dinner with this person who is very much a minor. You know that he wants to get a job, and there's a power imbalance here, and next thing you know, you help him get an interview and then an affair takes place. Because you were in direct contact with him when he was a minor, that is the issue and the crux of the problem here. That is where people are calling you a groomer, because at the age, you met him at the age of 15. Allegedly it's younger, but 15 is still very much young. And you yourself are in your mid-50s when you met him at 15. And he's not your nephew. So why are you even going to dinner with him? Then you're seen in school together. He says he understands how it looks like, and, you know, it's a drastic, shocking image, and that people are spreading lies, and that, you know, when will this end, when, you know, does he need to take his life to end, and that, you know, he's completely shocked and things have completely turned around over within 24 hours. And I think the case of the matter here is that he's done this interview with BBC that is coming out in full length tomorrow, which I'll go over, but he's done multiple article exclusive interviews with The Sun, and to, you know, really give detail about how this happened. In the dressing room is where he began to be intimate with this guy. Happened 5 to 6 times, and, you know, yes, it was consensual. Yes, he was over 18 at the time, and it was not illegal. But how did it come to that point? You met him when he was a minor, and that is the issue, and that is where it's wrong. Because is he the only one that you had met? You know, your brother also was convicted. It's a very weird man for somebody in his 50s to be meeting up 15-year-olds. Period. End of discussion. End of story. And that is why it's concerning, because it's been a series of events for you to get to the point where you end up having an affair with... it also is an affair because you've hooked up with somebody whilst you're also married. So you're effectively cheating directly, and it does become an affair because you ended up hooking up with him 5 to 6 times. And he also said that it did happen once at his southeast London home or wherever he has a separate property, and that ITV did not know about it, and that he obviously kept that lie. And that he feels distraught and upset. He continues to say, I'm not a groomer, that is not who I am as a person. Whether you do it with intent or not, inadvertently you do become a groomer, because again, he is a minor. Like, I don't know why he doesn't understand this. He says that his daughters are by his side and they are supporting him, as they obviously are going to be. But that was basically the written conversation, and the full 60-minute interview is coming out tomorrow, 6 p.m. I believe, or 6 a.m. Via BBC. So we'll just see what he says there and how the audience and people are going to react to it. He said he's never going to be able to work or present ever again. And I think, you know, rightly so. Why are you up here with minors? It's always about the children for me. That is what mattered to me. And as minors who desperately want XYZ, grown men will understand that and exploit them for it. They will exploit somebody if they want a job or a high-flying career. They will exploit the young boys who are broke, who are homeless, who are escaping abuse, and use them for their own desires and kinks and fetishes and wants and needs, exploit them massively because they are in a position of power, because they are much more older. It is common sense. Men like Phillip Schofield, in my opinion, are very scary because they will do it in plain daylight, or whatever, and the young boys do not have any form of protection to help them. This young boy now, who wanted to now get a career in TV, he can't ever do that. He's working in a pub now, and you know, it seems that Phillip is stressing the fact that he's lost everything. He does look visibly skinny. Obviously he's going to be very stressed over what's happened over the last 2 weeks, but his brother being convicted of disgusting stuff, then you wanting to distance yourself from your own brother when you yourself have been in contact with minors is very concerning. So it's just diabolical. I'll watch the interview or read the articles if you guys wish to. I just wanted to put this all in a quick 6-minute video for the stuff that he said, and that, you know, Holly is not replying to his messages anymore, that she distanced when, you know, he was convicted, and she must have distanced when his brother was convicted because of, like, you must have known something then, because for Holly to disconnect and disengage and distance herself from Phillip because of her Phillip's brother being convicted, which, you know, in textbook has nothing to do with Phillip, it's his brother. Why would you distance? Probably because you knew that something is going to come up about Phillip, and that is why you probably chose to distance, because you knew something was definitely coming up. I don't know. He adamantly claims that Holly has nothing to do with this. She shouldn't get the blame for this. But guys, it is just an absolute shit show of a situation. And, you know, somebody in their 50s, 60s should not be talking to a minor. It's like, guys, it's common sense. It's ridiculous. And it's happening all over the UK, up and down the damn place. All of these young boys are all vulnerable. Then they end up going into drugs and alcohol because they can't cope for what these grown men have done to them, and they have no system to support them. It is incredibly sad that there is no system to support the young boys of the new generation that is coming up today, let alone my generation or the generation above. Anyways, I want to do this video. Make of this information, guys, what you will. Make of this information what you will. Phillip has been replaced for the Soap Awards as well by a British actor called Jane McDonald. Sorry, she is going to replace him. He says also that he is broken and he is absolutely ashamed, and says there's no excuses. I don't think the idea of using homophobia as a critique, because you came out in 2020 and everybody coddled you. You just came out announcing an affair with somebody younger, but because you came out, everything was okay. And now homophobia is it doesn't make any sense to me, because I also feel like because you're gay, it helped you and you were able to get away with it, and people saw it differently. And if anything, it's worse in the gay community for grown men hunting down young boys, because in the society world, it's seen as man on man, when that's not the case. Let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe to the channel, click that button, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review.